How's it going, everyone? I hope you're all doing really well. Now, I actually went to make a video on this topic yesterday, but I had several interruptions from little kids. But anyway, so checking in with what's happening with Muln Automotive right now. So we're up about 2.5%. Really, those gains that we've gotten so far this session are basically making up for what we lost yesterday. So that was interesting. So I was adjusting my charts yesterday, and instead of, it looks like we're kind of moving out of that upward trend now. And so what we're seeing is around that $7.20 mark, we're getting a lower line of resistance. So it doesn't seem to be that we're posting higher lows anymore. We've just dropped down that little bit. And obviously it's a little bit disappointing given that there was a bit of PR out from the company yesterday. Now, you know, like if you look at the PR, I'm sure you all have had a look, they talk about, you know, how they're going to be focusing on their commercial vehicles in the commercial industry. Basically, they see themselves as a bit of a first mover. Yes, true to an extent, and I would agree. And I think it's good that they are trying to focus on something a little bit more. But, you know, I like that. Sorry, I should say, I'd like that to continue to be their focus, to be looking to get into the commercial space. But the other bit that was quite interesting is that they sort of spoke about in that same PR that with their class 1 and class 3 vans, they have positive margins on the stock. So therefore, what means that they're basically being sold at a profit, which is obviously what any company should be looking to do. Now, I did find that quite interesting that they said that a lot of EVs sell at negative margins with their new vehicles when they first come out. And, you know, that's kind of understandable when you consider that the cost of, you know, setting up, you know, well, we shouldn't say the cost of setting up a business, but the operating costs initially can be quite expensive, and you have to sort of rein them down and get them under control. And Muln Automotive has supposedly done that since they first started selling delivering vehicles to Randy Marion. Now, I don't want to put too much credence in that. That's kind of a bit of, you know, obviously washing over the surface of what's really going on here, because Muln Automotive, you know, for that sort of PR, that sort of statement, they can, you know, manipulate the numbers. So like the cost of the materials and the labor to make one vehicle is less than what we sell it for. That's what they should be doing anyway. It probably is not taking into account other expenses that have come to get to this point. Now, you know, like this, if they were making a positive margin, we would see a better bottom line from the company at this point in time. But we aren't seeing that. So, you know, I'd take that comment from them with a grain of salt. You know, it's good that they are operating with a positive margin on their class 1 and class 3 vehicles, but everyone knows that they are hemorrhaging a lot of money, and, you know, including non-cash items, they lost over $1 billion, you know, in their last reporting period. So it's not great. Okay. You know, it's all good in order to try and whip up support for the company and, you know, all that, but, you know, like, you're not fooling shareholders. And you know, a lot of people are kind of have cooled on Mullen significantly, which is a little bit disappointing in the sense that, you know, they are getting to a better point operationally, but, you know, it's just been a vacuum for, you know, investors' money. Now, and on that note, if you actually look on their investors page on their website, there's a really interesting thing saying that they, you know, presenting good value for investors on there. And that made me laugh a little bit because, you know, like we just said, they have obviously been a vacuum for shareholder value. So, yeah, anyway, just a couple of thoughts on where things are going at the moment. I think that we are, like I said at the start, I think we are seeing it as sort of a lower point of resistance forming now at $7.20. But, you know, these things are never 100% accurate. They're just like looking at short-term trends in the stock. Yeah, so I've always sort of said along, the one thing Mullen needs to be doing right now is booking more sales. We'll see. Hopefully something can come in the pipeline. Anyway, hope you guys are all having a great day. Till next time, may the markets trade in your favor. Cheers.